and people have already picked up on Megalodon, Terry, so we
have they?
We have our extra cast member. Perfect. Love it.
Nice.
All right, so what are we looking at, guys? This is a new safe house?
This is Camp Clinton. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it a safe house. I think of it as terminal light.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got all the stuff that you kind of expect to find to kind of kick off your gameplay session. So your calibration and crafting and all your vendors and but it's also got things added that are kind of new to the West Side Piers. So you'll be able to track your weekly assignments, things like that.
Stuff for resistance, stuff for skirmish, and a couple of things.
Very cool. All right, and there are stairs. That's great. So where is Tony going to take Yannick today? Where are we going to go?
Well, I'm sure he'll hit a few of the POIs. We actually, this isn't necessarily rehearsed.
No, this is definitely not rehearsed, so I'm sure something... disclaimer, everyone in chat, this is a development build. As you can see, those gates that are in there will not be in the version that you play. And I'm not even going to make a joke that I was going to make earlier, because it'll make some people
You
very...
can make a joke.
Terry, you can do it. But no, we were going to make a joke about microtransaction gates. But don't worry about it. It's
That's not happening.
no, it's not happening.
You did the joke.
But yes, those gates, we use those for development stuff. And also in this build, you will see some of the icons on the map are not accurate. For example, some activities don't have difficulties like the map may tend towards. But this is where we are, the new zone. All right, so northwest of where people have been playing, right?
Yep. This is where the new spaces are for skirmish. You have activities that are going to draw players up and around, all around the space for exploration.
Okay.
And that's when you'll get jumped by all the dynamic, awesome spawning.
Yes.
We're actually going to be feeding players something called alerts. So
right.
Shade will be delivering alerts to you constantly, and there'll be alerts in the north and alerts in the south. And that really drives, let's say, the loop of exploration and gameplay.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited about these, just because every time you come in, they will be in different locations. You might have slightly different objectives, and on top of that, the combat's different because all the actual AI spawning is dynamic.
Right. Sometimes the AI that spawn, they'll be absolutely aware of you, and they will get right on you. And sometimes they won't, and you'll have an opportunity to surprise them.
So I see people in chat talking about it, and they're asking, like, is there a new incursion? There is not a new incursion in 1.8, but while there is no new incursion, and there's a lot of activities in the open world, there is narrative elements. So
Yes,
I talked
correct.
about that with Tony yesterday. Tony's the other Red Storm. Tony's a producer, right, on your side?
The man.
The man.
Yes.
The one,
Yep.
The Sturzel. So we were going through it yesterday, and there's some interesting narrative in there. And I don't want to spoil things for people, but there's a whole chunk of audio logs that...
Yes, I'm glad you don't want to spoil it. There's a lot, in fact.
Yes.
A lot of continuation and explanation, but you have to explore West Side Piers to find out what that is.
Yes, probably more than people realize. Anyway, but so we kind of saw the Intrepid just before.
That's beautiful.
Yannick's looking at it right now. That big battleship thing's called the Intrepid.
Aircraft carrier.
Yeah. Sorry, I said battleship. I didn't mean it.
That's all right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. I'm glad I have someone here to keep me accurate.
Let's fact check you.
All right. So what's going to happen on the Intrepid, guys? Can we talk about that?
So you do a few things around that area. So most of this open world is totally free for you to explore, right? And then some areas are built specifically for the gameplay of skirmish and resistance. So actually getting inside and going through the belly of the Intrepid is something that you'll do as you explore deeper into the resistance game mode.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, that's cool. So we're heading up on the west side. What's kind of the next area that we'll come across with Tony? Tony could lead Yannick anywhere. I'm really not sure where we're going to go.
Yeah. Well, the POIs that we dropped inside the West Side Piers are extensive, and of course we used the same, recreation that we did in the whole game. So you can imagine that if there's a POI or something fancy that you would expect to be there in real life, you're going to see it in West Side Piers. There are 3 main spaces that we built for
the totally new gameplay for Skirmish and Resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so Intrepid is the one nearest to Camp Clinton. And
as you move a little bit further north, you kind of go out onto the piers and you're kind of down by the water. It's really kind of a cool new environment. Lots of shipping containers and cool kind of ins and outs. And then as you move further all the way north, you kind of start exploring the subterranean areas of West Side Piers.
mm-hmm. Stuff underneath. I like subterranean, that's a good word.
So Tony took me around a couple of areas, and I'm interested to see if he takes Yannick there today. There was I saw a car wash.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there's a car wash.
What's the car wash? I don't know if we're going to see that.
Yeah, I think they're heading over there.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're going to go
all right.
there. My favorite, not to distract from the car wash, but there's actually a club.
Yeah, there's
Can we go to the club? The club is so
Huge
cool.
fan of the club.
I know
Yeah.
people thought the rave room was cool in the underground, and it is, but the floor in the club is a bit ridiculous, guys. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
There's the car wash.
All right, so let's go through the car
Little-
wash. Apparently, I'm playing, right?
So,
Peter, you,
yeah, so alerts can happen in any
Peter,
number of these locations,
you got my lower third up.
which is nice.
Yeah, you might have an alert that tells you to come and that AI are kind of taking over this location. So you'll have this kind of big fight in this particular POI and up on the roofs of this building. But then the next time you come here, you might, say, be protecting a Shade Tech terminal in that nightclub.
Cool.
Yep.
That's really cool. Sorry, I just got to tell Peter one thing. Peter, if you type, it'll hotkey to certain things. So don't type on that machine. That'd be cool. But I see what you mean. So yeah, I see people in chat talking about the bag size is 500. Again, development build. There will not be 500 size bags in the game. That's just for our
Sorry,
testing
guys.
purposes. Sorry, guys. All right, are we headed to the club?
Item management on a 500 size bag.
Yeah. Right. All right. This is cool. No, this area looks awesome, guys. I'm
Thank you.
so excited about what you guys have put out. Very, very cool.
One thing we really tried to push, LD-wise, is the fact that these spaces are really connected, right? Like he was in the car wash, seamlessly went up onto the rooftops. There's multiple ways to hit this nightclub, but you can kind of pick and choose where you want to go, right? And the AI are going to spawn around you, depending on the routes you take.
Oh,
Nice.
get in the club, yo.
Go now. Oh yeah.
I expect to see
Yeah, go check
many
out the floor.
gifs
It's so cool.
of people emoting in the club.
It's an aquarium.
Dude, that floor is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
The art staff crushed it.
My first thought when I saw that, and I asked Tony, I was like, how expensive is that floor? Or have you guys done some absolute magic trickery? What's going on there?
We have an amazing tech art staff that were able to provide the magic required for something like that, and to still have the factions and the AI spawning. I salute them. They crushed it.
That's crazy. That's really cool. It looks awesome.
Thank you.
So something cool I want to point out here is they moved through that nightclub. Now they're a little bit further north.
Yeah.
And so they've been given a new objective in the more northern section of the map, right? To push them to a new location to help them explore further.
Yeah. Tony actually brought up this yesterday, Terry, and I wanted to talk about it with you because you said that you would be much better to talk about it. But this area, I think we're going into the park here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, DeWitt Park.
So there's obviously a lot of visual storytelling going on as well. Or maybe not obvious because it's, not really what a lot of people look at. But there's a mass grave up here, right?
There sure is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, not cool. Mass graves aren't cool, but...
Yeah, but I feel you, dog.
Yeah, you got me.
Well, it ties in a lot to a lot of the lore of the Dark Zone, right? Obviously, you'll see a lot of body vaults in the Dark Zone. You'll recognize that
Yeah.
for those players that go to the Dark Zone. And this happens to be right on the route, the delivery route that they were taking bodies out of the Dark Zone and initially burying them here properly, as opposed to some of the improper burial that you saw in DZ North. when eventually they just started dumping bodies. So this was sort of the beginning of, hey, we're going to treat this nicely. We're going to respect the dead. And then that, obviously the collapse continued and hell broke loose.
Yeah, this is before it's completely out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like ground zero for zombies.
Sure, you said it, not me.
No, sorry, I mean, I say that sometimes, but it's honestly, yeah, never.
No.
Someone in chat saying this is really New York. Actually, one of the buildings that I saw was like that sail building. I don't know.
Yeah.
That might be on our list of things to look at today, but that's basically 100% accurate, right?
Yeah, that is. That's always our goal with the division is to make it real, so players can visit these locations just like they do in real life.